What's going on, guys? My name is Joey Speaks, and this is Everyday People, the podcast, the mini pod. All right, guys. So I want to ask you a question. Do you like carbs? Do you like carbohydrates? Do you like carbs? I would imagine chances are that you do. We all do. We love carbs. But here's the thing. So a lot of people think that carbs make you fat. And so if you have listened to any of the podcasts I've done before, any of the mini pods, any of the videos that I post, you may know what I'm about to say, but maybe you don't. Carbs do not make you fat. Let me repeat that. Carbs do not make you fat. Okay? Carbs are delicious. Carbs are delish. Carbs are great. Who doesn't love rice, pasta, potatoes? I mean, like bread, French bread, hot French bread. I mean, come on. But here's the thing. So if you know your macro breakdown along with your number of calories that you need to be consuming per day, you can have carbs. And chances are you probably can have the carbs that you want. Now, let's just say you're not in a calorie deficit because you're not trying to lose weight. Let's just say you're in a place right now where that you feel good about yourself. You're a good weight, you're strong, you're lean, you're feeling really good, but you're worried that if you eat too many carbs, you're going to get fat. Well, I think that here's the thing. For each macro, the macronutrients are your proteins, carbs, and your fats. Okay. Protein, each gram of protein has four calories. Okay. Each gram of protein has 4 calories. Each gram of carbs also has 4 calories. Each gram of fats, good or bad fats, has 9 calories. Okay. So regardless if you love carbs, if you don't love carbs, regardless if you love protein or if you don't love protein, regardless if you love fats or you don't love fats, you still need a good mix of each of the macros. But eating carbs are not going to make you fat. They're just not. They're just not. Now, if you have excess calories that come from carbs, sure, then it's easy to blame carbs. And that's what people usually do. So let's just say you're about to eat dinner, okay? And you get a plate of food. Let's say your dinner for that night is you have a salad with a little avocado in it. Let's say you have a steak and you have rice and you have a vegetable, okay? And your plate is pretty portioned. It's portioned out pretty well. Okay, that's a lot of peas for me. It's portioned out pretty well, and you feel like you're in a good place. But then let's just say you're not full after you get done eating that plate and your salad, and you go back for more rice. So a lot of people will say, "Oh yeah, the rice makes me fat. The rice is going to make me fat." Let's just say you go back for some more steak and rice. So you are just adding calories through the carbs and the protein, and steak's going to have fat also. But you are just adding calories with additional food, not just because they're carbs. If you were to eat more protein, you would still be adding more calories. Okay. Now, if you are going to add more calories to whatever meal you're eating, I would say protein is probably the best one to add. If you are looking to not, I want the more protein you get, the more muscle you can build. Okay. So it's not that it's better or worse, but if you are trying to get in shape and you're trying to do something, fit to be physically fit, I think if you're going to eat extra food, I think that having a little bit extra protein is not a bad idea. Okay. Now you don't want to be excessive with that, obviously, but now, sometimes you may need extra carbs. Sometimes you may need extra fats. But the reality is that carbs do not make you fat. These things are not going to change. Every gram of protein has 4 calories. Every gram of carbs has 4 calories. Every gram of fats has 9 calories. That's the way that it is, guys. So if you like carbs, do not be afraid to eat your favorite carbs. It's the portion size. It's the portion control. It's how much you eat. It's how often you eat. If you're eating too many times per day, it's not just how often that you're eating, you're accumulating calories. So these things are not going to change. They're not going to change. So I want you to enjoy your favorite carbs. Now, if your favorite carbs are cake, obviously that's a problem. You can have some cake every once in a while because you got to live your life, right? But if you just live within the correct portions, and this goes back to everything that I talk about in the previous mini pods and the other podcasts and the other videos that I post, if you know how many calories your maintenance number of calories are, you'll be good. Stay within that maintenance number and you will maintain your weight. If you want to lose weight, cut your calories by 2, 3, maybe 400 calories, depending on your size and your weight, and you'll lose weight. If you want to get bigger and stronger, increase your calories by a couple hundred calories, 2, 3, 400 calories, depending on your size and your weight and your goals. You can have carbs. You can have carbs. If no one's ever told you that before, let me be the one to tell you. It's okay for you to go on and have some carbs. Okay? It's okay. Now, remember this. Eating healthy and eating in a calorie deficit are two different things. Eating healthy while in a calorie deficit, that's something different. Okay? So you can have crappy food in a calorie deficit and you will still lose weight. You will quickly become unhealthy though. So don't do that. But you still will lose weight. If you are eating a relatively balanced diet with good food, good quality foods, and you're in a calorie deficit, man, you're going to get healthy and you're going to lose weight. And so, with the mini pod and the podcast and stuff, most of the time I'm always talking about, losing weight for the most part. Typically speaking, most of the things I talk about are about, how can you lose weight? Well, some people need to gain weight also. And there's this thing called bulking and cutting when it comes to fitness. So like if you're trying to gain size and gain muscle, you need to be in a calorie surplus. And some people call that bulking. Well, that means that they're just going to be eating more in a surplus while they're lifting weights. And the thing is that so you can eat healthy while in a calorie surplus. You don't just have to eat everything that you see, because I'm going to tell you something. If you want to gain muscle and you're trying to be in a calorie surplus, but you just eat everything that you see, the fat that you put on, you're going to have to take it off when you want to cut. So if you bulk, but just eat more good quality food and monitor yourself while you're bulking or while you're in a surplus, you make sure that you're not gaining too much fat, you'll be good. Anything that you put on that's in any fat that you put on, you have to take off when you cut. So just remember, guys, this stuff is very simple when you simplify it. And I have simplified it for you. Make sure that you're in your calorie maintenance number for you to be able to maintain your weight. Okay? That's number one. When you want to lose weight, cut your calories by a couple hundred calories, 200 to 400 calories, depending on your size and your goal. When you want to gain size, gain weight, increase your calories by 200 to 400, depending on your size and your goal. Test it, see how it works for a week, adjust when needed. It's really that simple. So you can have carbs. Eat good foods. The two best carbs you can eat are sweet potatoes and oats. The other carbs are not bad. The other good carbs are not bad. Baked potato, white rice, brown rice. Those are not bad. But sweet potatoes and oats, they're complex carbs, and they take longer to break down in your system, giving you long-lasting energy throughout the day, as opposed to just getting that spike from carbs, getting energy and then falling off the table. Okay? And that's not next level stuff, but it's kind of next level stuff. And if you have more questions about that, leave me comments. No problem at all. All right. So I want to let you know that you can have carbs. All right. What's next? Next, we're going to talk about, did you make a New Year's resolution? Today is, I think it's the 13th. Is this going to drop on the 13th or the 14th? I think it's for the 14th when this comes out. So if you remember our reset mini pod, typically most people make a New Year's resolution on the 1st and they say, oh, I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to, and they're ready to go. And then when do people stop typically using their gym membership when they first sign up for New Year's resolution? The 2nd or 3rd week of January. We are just getting to the 2nd week. So if you made a New Year's resolution, if you remember, I like to call it a reset. I can reset anytime I want. It doesn't have to be at the beginning of the year. I like to reset. If you made a New Year's resolution, or if you reset at the beginning of the year and we're 2 weeks in and you're starting to feel it, I'm not seeing results. I feel like I'm eating the same crap all the time and I don't like it. I want to eat the stuff I like to eat. Exercise sure is hard. I hate doing cardio. If you're experiencing any of those feelings right now, it's normal. This is the part where you got to push through. This is the part where you got to keep going. This is the part where you can't let this get to you. You just can't. You just can't. And you know who? The only person who it's going to hurt is you. If you don't continue doing what you're doing to get yourself healthy, get yourself strong, get yourself fit, you're not going to hurt anybody else but you. Unfortunately, the other people around you who love you as well, because you're going to become unhealthy. This got to be a lifestyle, guys. This can't be something that you're doing. This has to be something that you're living. So if you're 2 weeks in and you've started your New Year's resolution or your reset and you're struggling and it's getting tough, I'm here to tell you that it's all right. It is okay. It's tough for everybody. Everybody goes through this. You have to stay the path. You have to stay the course. You have to stay on target. You have to. You have to, for yourself, for your loved ones. You just have to. And I know that it's easy. The easiest thing to do is quit. The easiest thing to do is quit. And especially when you are not being accountable to somebody else, we tend to quit on ourselves because we can just reconcile in our minds without anyone else hearing what we're talking about to ourselves. Yeah, okay, I'll just start. I'll just do it again next week. I'll do it again next month. I'll do it again next year. This is the time, man. This is the time where it's tough for everybody. And this is when you have to take yourself to the gym. This is when you have to get up and go do a mile or two. This is when you have to make sure that you eat that good meal. Once you get past a certain point, it becomes easier. Once it becomes easier, it becomes a part of who you are and what you do. The things that challenged you at the beginning will be how you judge yourself later. I couldn't even do a whole mile. I couldn't even walk a mile on the treadmill in 30 minutes. Well, now you're doing a mile in 15 minutes. And now you're doing 2 miles in 25 minutes. It goes in steps. It goes in steps, but you can't stop. You just can't stop. You can't stop. If you are struggling with your New Year's resolution and you need some guidance, some direction, hit me up. I'll give you some accountability. I'll give you some motivation. I'll tell you where you need to be, where you need to go, how you need to do it. No problem at all. All right? So don't be a part of that 2 to 3 weeks into the new year where people stop working out, where their New Year's resolution is over. Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. Be the one who keeps pushing through. Be the one who keeps pushing through. Be the one who keeps pushing through. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next pod.